freebooters. Welcome back. So we are going to learn how to do a CESS slide today. I'm going to go over my 5 steps on how to learn how to CESS slide. Before we do that, what is a CESS slide? A CESS slide is really just a rollerblading grind, but done on a flat surface, right? In my opinion, it's not much more than that. This is going to be my how-to video. This is going to be my way of teaching you how to CESS slide. Understand that this is aggressive rollerblading. Everyone does everything differently. Just take what I say with a grain of salt. Take anything you hear with a grain of salt. Add it to your trick bag, go out and practice it and use what works for you. A couple kind of quick notes before we get into the 5 steps. The smaller and harder your wheels are, the more chance of success or less chance you're gonna get wheel bite. If you have smaller and harder wheels, it's probably gonna help you, at least in this learning phase, learn how to CESS slide. A big part of doing CESS slides is being really flexible, getting nice and low to the point where you don't have your wheels on the ground so you don't get wheel bite. But with that, a lot of us are getting a little bit older, including myself, and we may not be quite as flexible as we used to be. So one way you can help to kind of set yourself up for success is loosening up your skates a little bit. Most of you watching are probably familiar with Tree Rudolph, which if you're not, I'll link to his channel down in the description below, but he is a wizard at CESS slides. He can CESS slide anything on the planet, I'm confident. But if you watch him, he has extreme flexibility and he also keeps his skates quite loose. When I go to CESS slide, I loosen up my skates a little bit, I unbuckle them just a little bit, a few clicks, just to set yourself up for success. And then with CESS slides, you know, CESS slides are basically just grinds, but you don't have a guide. You don't have a rail or the side of a ledge guiding your skate on where to go. You're really just doing that grind on a flat surface. So as such, you're kind of like on a slip and slide in a way. What I'm getting at here is that you're a little bit more prone to falling on CESS slides, right? It can be a little bit more challenging. Make sure that you're geared up. Wear your crash pads, wear your helmet, especially your wrist guards, stuff like that, because especially while learning new tricks on CESS slides, or really any new tricks, you should be geared up. Now that we've covered that, let's go ahead and get into the 5 steps on how to learn how to do a CESS slide. Okay, so step 1 is you're actually gonna wanna be able to do the grind that you're trying to CESS slide. CESS slides are nothing more than a grind on flat surface. I've said it before. Anything that you can do as a grind, you can do as a CESS slide, for the most part, within reason. For instance, if you wanna be able to do a unity CESS slide, which I recommend as kind of your first CESS slide, in my opinion, it's probably the easiest one to kind of master. But if you're already really good at Royale grinds, then just stick with Royales. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna be kind of talking about the unity CESS slide because I think it's a good place to start if you don't already know how to CESS slide. So like I mentioned earlier, you should be able to do the unity grind before you attempt to start doing the unity CESS slide. In my opinion, CESS slides only add a little bit of difficulty and complexity, in my opinion, and so you should start with a guide, right? Start with the rail, start with the side of a ledge or a practice box. Okay, step 2 is you're gonna wanna find a suitable obstacle to start to CESS slide. It's gonna be anything that's nice and smooth. Tree Rudolph and I, who I mentioned earlier, we had a live stream pretty recently where someone in the live chat asked on tips on how to learn CESS slides, and he had a really good recommendation, I think, was that you can go to a place like Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a really slick or really smooth piece of plywood or a piece of like masonite or something like that and wax it up, and you can put that like in the grass so that you can have a nice low surface that you can start learning these CESS slides on. That's in grass, so it's like dual faceted. It's nice and low and it's in grass, so if you fall, if and when you fall, it's gonna be in grass. It's gonna be a lot less dramatic than something like a concrete ledge that we're gonna be CESS sliding here in a second. Step 3, unless you're someone crazy like Bobby Spassoff who can basically CESS slide raw concrete anywhere and anytime he wants to, you're gonna probably wanna put a little bit of wax on the obstacle to help your sole plate slide and to help your wheels slide if they should come in contact with the surface itself. Now make sure when you're waxing these obstacles, make sure that you're not waxing something that's gonna be a hazard to other people, especially at the skate park. And as far as wax goes, you can support the industry by checking out some of the wax manufacturers down in the description below, or you can be like me and just buy a big bucket of wax for purposes like this. Step 4 is you're gonna wanna practice the body position on flat ground. Prior to even rolling, prior to even sliding, just practice this body position, which you should already be pretty familiar with, because from step 1, you know how to do this grind. And I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make when they're trying to learn CESS slides, is they're trying to kind of reinvent the wheel. This is really just an extension of grinds, of the same body position, of the same center of gravity. A lot of people, I think I see a big number of beginners or people learning CESS slides, they kind of throw a lot of what they know out the window and they lean backwards on CESS slides, which is of course pretty much never what you want to do. What you're going to want to do in step 4 is practice the body position on flat ground. Practice getting your sole plates in contact with the ground, lifting those wheels just up off the ground so that it's just your sole plate touching, so that you minimize the risk of wheel bite, which is like the demon of both grinds and CESS slides alike. And then step 5, you're gonna start slowly rolling up to the obstacle, whether it's that piece of plywood on the ground or a ledge like this. Obviously anything lower is gonna be a little bit better or lower consequence.
Terrible consequence has been avoided.
Start rolling up to it nice and slow and start getting the feel. Start jumping into it and go super slow at first. All my trick tips, all my how-tos, all have a common theme. It's crawl, walk, run. Start super slow. You don't want to put the cart before the horse. Just go nice and slow and start getting that feel for the body position. Remember, this is just a grind, but it's just on flat ground. And once you start getting more and more reps in and you start landing it and getting more consistent with this, feel free to start incorporating more creativity with it. Incorporate different grinds. If you've mastered the Unity CESS slide, try a Royale CESS slide. If you've mastered the Royale CESS slide, try a Savannah CESS slide, or try a Front Farf CESS slide, or anything like that. So you can get as creative with this as you want. You can do CESS slides out of grinds, you can do CESS slides into grinds. And one thing I actually wanted to mention as part of step 5 as well is that there's kind of an alternative method that may work for you. Again, everyone learns differently, especially in this sport, I swear. So one thing you can practice doing, or at least try this out, is that you can jump on a Unity grind and shift your weight closer to the obstacle and allow your feet, allow your H blocks to come off that ledge, off the angle of that ledge into a CESS slide, right? So this may be a little bit more of an easier way for some of the viewers to kind of ease into CESS slides, is to start with the grind, allow your H blocks to slide over onto the flat surface of the box and turn it into a CESS slide. So that's one thing too that you can practice. Try all this, get reps in. CESS slides are super fun. I love doing them. You can get super creative with them, as Tree Rudolph definitely shows us. So anyway, roller booters, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Helps get rollerblading out to more people here on YouTube. And with that, roller booters, get out and CESS slide. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.